people killed Honorable Charles Ngonga, where just the other day, because they feared to face him for the position of governor. You don't know what these cowards walking on the streets can do to a promising son of the Republic of Kenya in the name of Dr. Boni Khalwale, MB, CHB, CBS. Doctor, can I continue?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to Boni Khalwale keenly, you can realize that he has given a reason or even a hint on what resulted to the death of Ongondo Were, the MP for Kasipul. Now, we have to admit it here that the people at the Senate and the National Assembly and those leaders top there, they engage in conversations, more especially some of them actually from the intelligence perspective. So whatever this gentleman is saying, we cannot just rule it out. Now, on social media, people have been implicated. If you go across, people have been implicated across, and I invite you to go and check. Just search Ongondo Were on TikTok. You'll be able to hear some people making noise on one or two people. Now, I sat down and asked myself, why did Boni Khalwale say this while in the Senate? While in the Senate. Then I went back and started connecting on what has been happening as far as Ongondo Were's death is concerned.
The funerals in Kasipul were declared unsafe for anybody.
Mtu hawezi kaa vile nimekaa hivi. Anakaa kama maiti kwa sababu ameweka panga na nini na marungu kwa lawn.
Walipika hapa, wakakucha hapa.
Watu 9 wameumizwa, wengine hawana mkono, wengine wameuliwa.
My brother was killed because of politics of Kasipul and politics of Homa Bay.
It is the night of 30th of April 2025 that explicitly painted the picture of how volatile the constituency is.
Hawa maguni zake anajulikana na Otis Ras. Anafanya kwa county government.
That is not true. The county government of Homa Bay has a very disciplined enforcement directorate.
Mimi kwangu siwezi nikasema naachia Mungu. Mungu pia achukue pandi yake. Na serikali pia achukue pandi yake.
On this particular video here, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take you through step by step on some of the weird activities that have happened, especially during, after Ongondo Were's death, and even during the funeral all the way up to now. But before I take you through, if this is the first time you're watching at Mukwa Times, kindly take a second or two to subscribe. Also, my number is always here. Here people interact with me. If you want to support the channel, kindly, that's the M-Pesa number. Interact with me in the sense that you can call me, can text me, and enlighten me further on some of the analysis that we do here. Also, after watching, take a second or two to also comment on the comment section. I read all my comments, and that enables me actually to grow in terms of making the analytical skills better. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me dive into this topic here today, but let me give you 2 seconds subscribe if I do so. Now, weird activities happened, and these weird activities touched me personally. I sat down and asked myself, what is really happening? What is happening? Now, one of them is the way Gladys Wanga hyped this issue. Gladys Wanga talked about Ongondo Were's death all over. And according to some quarters, like now, Philip Arok, when he was speaking, he was insinuating that someone is pushing, actually the government is pushing for his arrest because he has been a challenger of Ongondo Were. And that caught people's attention across the country. Even people have gone ahead to castigate him for the poor organization that was seen in the funeral. When she was given a chance to take charge, things were done poorly. So in a nutshell, Gladys Wanga acted weirdly, according to me. I did not expect such a kind of a hype. I'm very sure there are male friends who are close to Ongondo Were, but they did not behave the way Gladys Wanga did. Apart from that, we have to accept here that Ongondo Were had 2 wives. But there's no one who cried like the way Gladys Wanga did. She wept across. She was there from the first day, later on proceeded, and even the burial, she was crying right, right, and center. And these people, now, it appeared that they were very close. If they were not very close, those were crocodile tears. We have just to state it categorically here. Ladies and gentlemen, the kind of cries that she was showing, everyone was like, is she the widow? Oh no. This is too much. There's some presentation that you should bring on board as a leader of Homa Bay County. To take you back slightly, Ongondo Were was so much involved, according to the allegations across, on some also bad activities, allegedly, where goons were involved in various activities that are linked to him. So, people didn't feel the death of Ongondo Were that much. But the questions were in Kenya's minds that how can a member of parliament be shot in the streets of Nairobi where there are cameras all over? Who can get that courage to do so in front or in the presence of a security guard? So, but when it goes to the issue to do with the death itself, we didn't see the money that had occurred on Otieno Kajon. We didn't see the money that occurred on Dr. Chris Mbai. No. That one of Ongondo Were was a bit hyped by leaders, not the electorate. We had various stories coming up on social media. People giving terrible and terrifying stories about Ongondo Were's activities. He was not there to defend himself, that these kind of activities that he was linked to contributed to the low, maybe say, mourning that was experienced or maybe witnessed from the electorate. Ladies and gentlemen, to just state it here categorically, it is that after Ongondo Were's death, we had threats to the governor, deputy governor of Homa Bay County. Now, the deputy governor of Homa Bay County, Oyunge Magwanga, this guy has been vying for the gubernatorial seat of Homa Bay County, but he hasn't won it. Ever since we had, I think, the former Cyprian Awiti, the Homa Bay County governor. The first one. So he was threatened also that he was going to die. People came and the people wanted to actually even say that it was an attempt assassination on him. So we sit down and ask ourselves here, will Philip Aroko benefit from the death of the gentleman by the name of Oyunge Magwanga? No, why? He's not interested to become the deputy governor. What could be the interest of Oyunge Magwanga? To become the deputy governor by force, or Oyunge Magwanga himself to vie for the gubernatorial seat? So the only person he can threaten, are those people who are interested on the gubernatorial seat, and they see Oyunge Magwanga as a threat. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at this keenly and link it to Boni Kalwale's statement that somebody who was interested to become governor felt threatened by the presence of who? Upon Ongondo Were, sorry. So the fact remains that the person who was interested on the elimination of Ongondo Were, according to Boni Kalwale, then it is person who was interested to become a governor. Now, from my take here, from my perspective, I feel strongly that there is a strong link that probably has been maybe noticed by the people in the political class, the leadership, that Ongondo Were was not really being hunted by probably someone like Philip Aroko, or even a small person. Therefore, when you look at these activities, like Ongondo Were's son being given the seat from nowhere, becoming the nominated member of parliament, the nominated aspirant for the ODM party, just from nowhere, that fast, it's also an indication that probably someone here is trying to look like he's the best person here. He's not guilty, he's okay, and he's the good person on the other side. I don't know what's your take, but on the comment section, you can share with me, ladies and gentlemen. But I feel something has been exposed by none other than Boni Kalwale, which needs to be looked at by the security agencies so that we can get the real cause, the real person who was behind the assassination of Ongondo Were. Homa Bay County has become a terrible one when it comes to goons. We have seen it before, we've had it. And there's nobody here who is innocent. People there are engaging goons right, left, and center. Because when you had Ongondo Were giving testimonies on what was happening, then things were not okay in Homa Bay. It's one of the best counties I know. I was there for my high school, so I felt like this was not the right thing that should happen, especially from Homa Bay County. My name is Abel Moko. I don't know what's your take. I was just doing a simple analysis on what you've noticed from none other than Bonnie Khalwale, the senator for Kakamega County.